Welcome back to TacosandGeeks.com Essential Anime. I believe this is episode 55, and today we are going to be talking about the anime Ghost Hunt, which premiered in October of 2006 and ended in March 2007, I believe. Yes, March 2007. Ashley is here because this was her pick, and we're going to pass the baton to Ashley in a minute to talk about this show. But as always, you know how we do. We give you a brief synopsis of the show. So here we go. So Ghost Hunt synopsis reads this. While at school, Maya and her friends like to exchange ghost stories. Apparently, there's an abandoned school building on the campus that is the center of many ghost stories. During the story, they are interrupted by a mysterious male figure. The person turns out to be Kazuya. Actually, I probably backstep, but it's okay. A 17-year-old who 17-year-old president of the Shibuya. Oh my gosh, I am so terrible with Japanese pronunciations. Yeah, I think it's Shibuya, sorry. Psychic Research Company. He was called by the principal to investigate the story surrounding the abandoned school building. The next day on her way to school, Maya passes the school building in question. While examining a strange camera she spotted inside, she gets surprised by Kazuya's assistant. Unknowingly interfering with the investigation, Maya breaks the camera and the assistant gets injured. And that is the synopsis. Yeah, the camera, I remember you had us watch this a bit, but I vaguely remember it because it's been such a while. When I read the synopsis again, for some reason, when I thought about a spirit camera, the minute I automatically
Fatal
thought of Fatal
Frame.
Frame. Yes. You know me
Fatal
very
Frame
well.
was not no, Fatal Frame, the first one predated this one, I think.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, so I picked Ghost Hunt because one, you rarely will see an anime requested by me that's horror based because I'm such a
Yes.
scaredy cat. Shut up,
Yes.
Justin.
This is
So
true, folks. Completely,
so
completely, hold on. Completely can't do horror. I'm like literally pointing at her. Cannot do horror whatsoever. Okay.
I try. I'm getting a little bit better. A little bit. Like I can do movies like Scream and like those type of movies, and like I can do that. That's like horror thriller. I can do it with the thriller. But just like Insidious or anything like that, no thank you. I think I can handle Resident Evil now. Now, as a kid, no. Silent Hill now, possibly. Silent Hill as a kid, no. Um so yeah, so I picked Ghost Hunt because one, I think it's just like, I think what really stood out to me was the stories, because even though it's centered around this one theme and our base, it jump started from this episode. Like each episode was basically kind of like the monster of the week type of
Mm.
situation, and then it reaches end, and I just wish that it had a second season, and it, because it felt like the ending had more to say. I felt like they left it at a like a cliffhanger.
It could have been
Um,
one of those situations where the manga, I'm not sure because I didn't do too much research. I apologize, folks, for that on this before we started, but it could be the fact, and if for those who are familiar with the manga, definitely comment below, let us know whether the manga was finished before, I mean, was the manga finished after the show? Because
mhm.
usually there's situations with anime where the manga is not finished, but they just decide to end the show and you get an ending that's not true to the ending, and then next thing you know, they're doing reboots or going back years later, like, oh, here's the true ending, with the
Right.
more aligned to the manga.
But I feel like Ghost Hunt wasn't as well received as
Mm,
other ones would have. Like with Fruits Basket, it took them, Fruits Basket, I think, came out actually around the same time as this. Actually, maybe even a little, maybe a couple of years before, but like
mm,
still early 2000s, and the manga had like a lot more to flesh out. So like 10 years later,
mm.
you got the Fruits Basket that's closer to the manga. Um with Ghost Hunt, I don't think it received that much Western success. I don't know if it was really big in Japan around that time. I know that I just enjoyed it. And I especially loved the English cast of
Mhm.
of it. Um, Now, mind you, I love English voice actors. I really do. I feel because I grew up, especially as a young kid, as a young lass, in the early 2000s, that the English voice acting had more of an impact on me.
Mhm.
It was a lot stronger. I mainly watch a lot of subs in my older age.
Yeah,
Um,
as an adult, your subs. As a young one, you were dubbed. I mean,
dubbed.
I think that honestly,
But that
we
makes
could talk
sense.
about
Attention
that in
spans.
an yeah, we could talk about that in another video. But I think a lot of us start off obviously because we don't, as a child, you don't want to read watching cartoons or anime or anything like that. So you literally you default to dubs, but I think for a lot of us as we grew older went straight subs.
But I think also too, like I know back in our day, back in the late 80s and early 90s, we were supposed to. I know Justin has said this in the past, but like he watched DBZ from like bootleg tapes
Mhm.
in Japanese, where I got all my anime from Toonami and then like a little bit of Adult Swim
Yeah,
before I needed to go to bed. So yeah, so but I think like Ghost Hunt, like again, like animation now looking back on it, I was like, yeah, it's a product of its time. But
yeah,
like really back then, like I think it would have scared a younger me, for sure. The stories and like the stories behind like the ghosts and everything, like I said, is kind of like a monster of the week type of thing that
yeah.
I really enjoyed. Um, I love um Mai's and Kazuya's relationship with one another. And Jeremy Lee and Todd Haberkorn in those two roles were so good. Um, to be honest, I think this is a rare time that we hear Todd's voice go really low, except in like Fairy Tale,
Mm.
when it's kind of like that gravelly low, but like this is like low, low for Todd.
Mm.
Um, and so like this was very like it was very daunting to me because like I'm used to him like being like in his regular voice, which is higher. Um, but he did like such a great job being this douchebag of a guy.
Mm.
Um, but it is a quintessential tough guy, douchebag guy, but has like a little soft heart once you get to know him. But in the series too, it just leaves like a lot of mystery of like who he is, and then also too like why does he have like these walls up? Like we don't necessarily get all of it, and that's why I wish we had a season two, but I don't think it's going to happen anytime soon. And it's one of those animes that like if you were able to get it and watch it, you were able to get it and watch it. So I
Mm.
remember at a convention, Todd signed it for me. I think it was Todd and Jeremy signed my copy.
Oh, of course, Hunt.
Yeah,
Nice,
yeah, yeah.
nice. But
Yeah.
so to kind of transition towards like the conclusion, um where would you rank this actually? I mean, it's you're putting this as an essential anime. Why do you feel like this is something someone should add to their collection?
Well, I know for me as a person who's not too much into horror, I feel like this is a really good starting point to get
Mm.
into like horror anime. Um, because I know there's a lot more out there, and there's especially like with Junji Ito, like with his anime series, I think it's already out. I don't know if it's already out in Adult Swim.
Oh yeah, it
Probably
is.
it
It's
is.
on there's one on Netflix and there was the one on Crunchyroll. Both were
Yes.
uh questionable.
What about the one on? Because then it's the latest one came on Tanami Adult Swim.
I think
Didn't that's the one that I'm talking about, where they totally like went with the manga style.
yeah, I mean, well, all of them went with the type of manga style presentation with it.
But the,
It's
the the
just the
Adult Swim
way.
one looked better,
Yeah,
to
the
be
thing
honest.
with his adaptations is that Junji shorts, always a lot of them. And if you guys check out any of my reviews, I review mostly every single book that he's done, almost. That's been either re-released or or finally came to the States. With his shorts, there are like they they're complete shorts. That's what it is. Like it doesn't have much characterization at times. It ends abruptly. It makes you wanting more. So with that, it leaves a little less to be desired sometimes because you will hope that with the show they will explore a little bit more, and take time for like certain his stories to actually give it a half an hour and just add on to it. But I mean, it's good, but it's like it's the adaptation wise, it's like sometimes it
Right.
doesn't translate well, especially with the imagery.
So I would say like in just I feel it's essential because one, I think it's like
Mm,
in its niche. Like I don't think really a lot of people have heard of Ghost Hunt. And if
mm,
they did, then that's awesome. Um,
yeah.
I don't know anybody else besides me and you know of this anime. So I think that's like I think that's why it's central. I think people should just watch it.
Mm,
I feel like there's nothing to lose. Like I said, it's like a monster of the week type of thing.
yeah.
Um, I like the two main characters, how they interact with each other. So that's why I picked as essential. Um, if you ask me like what my favorite anime is or what my quintessential anime is as a list, like 1 through 10, I
Yeah.
think Ghost Hunt will probably be like always be either between like a 6 and a 10 in
Nice.
between that. Only because it had like an effect on me when I was younger, and especially a person who's not into horror, I feel like it's a one of the best shows to get into for horror. So yeah, check
All
it
right.
out.
Indeed. And this has been Essential Anime episode 55, Ghost Hunt with Ashley, of course. And as always, if you're watching this on YouTube, don't forget to like, share, subscribe, hit that notification bell. Did you watch Ghost Hunt? What were your thoughts on the series? Comment below, let us know. And of course, also for those who are manga, who read the manga, let us know if the manga ended after the show. Maybe that's why we got the end that we did. And that's it. That's it. If you're watching this from tacosgeeks.com, by all means, browse through our website. We got more content on the way. We'll catch you on the next one later days. Peace.